So I'm in a very old Mazda 2010. I suppose that's old by my standards. Came into me today. There was no ignition. Basically, the immobiliser light was flashing. No ignition whatsoever. And I'm going to explain very quickly in this very short video just what it was. Bearing in mind, it's 2010 Mazda. I'm new to the brand. I'm learning very fast though. Very strange Mazdas compared to BMW. Totally different kettle of fish. To cut a long story short, guy basically has an old battery. I've got it on charge at the moment, and it's bricked something called the RKE, remote keyless entry unit. Just like BMW E60 does with the steering lock, it's got an electronic steering lock, and it's basically bricked it. And I couldn't, have no ignition on, I couldn't get into the vehicle. Of course, with no ignition, how'd you get in? Well, with the King Bolen, best tool I ever got given for free by King Bolen, got a good relationship with them. I managed to get into the RKE by manually selecting the vehicle, probably going in through some K-line or something like that. Read the fault codes, I'll show you them in a minute. Deleting the fault codes was all it took, that's all it was, dead easy.
So on these Mazdas, these fault codes, as you can see, it's all down to battery voltage. If you don't erase them, it locks the system out. And all I had to do, literally, was erase them. Of course, then there was some other issues, which you're going to see further on in the video.
So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to actually do voltage drop test on this, but I'm going to show you exactly what the issue was. And it was really surprising actually, and all it was just erasing fault codes. Now, you can't believe that, but I'll do a bit of an animation and show you why that's the reason. Right, so as promised, here's a animation I've put together for you. So, simple system. Got a bit of an oscilloscope trace here for you, just to show you the CAN bus. All BD tool, that'll be the King Bolen. CAN high and CAN low from the socket to the RKE module. And I've put that it's bricked because the voltage went less than 8 volts. Maybe 9 volts, but it bricked and it would not allow even the ignition to come on. Couldn't release the steering lock and nothing got sold in. So why is it bricked? Well, it's the way Mazda do things. So when the voltage drops, if there's fault codes, as we saw in the previous part of the video, you will not start that car until you erase the faults. Well, how do you get into it if there's no ignition? Well, you need to send this UDS14. You need to send a packet. First of all, we get the machine on. We send a wake-up pulse. We send a frame on the CAN. It starts to listen, but we still haven't communicated. Then we send this, as I've actually wrote there. The wake frame is sent, pulls to 2.5 volts to CAN bus here. The transceiver of the RKE, that's the remote keyless entry unit, is awake. The session is opened. Okay. Then we send this packet from the scan tool because we're trying to get into it. We can get into it. We erase the U codes, the CAN codes, and the voltage codes. Failsafe is now dropped, and all the ignition relays are on. We can actually start the vehicle, and that is all I had to do to get to that state there. Simple as that. Very peculiar. Oh, see voltage drop then. See the voltage drop. I'll tell you what we'll do, we'll measure the voltage drop on this actually. A hell of a voltage drop. And that's what's causing it, that voltage drop there.
Well, as you can see there, we've gone as low as 9 volts. And as I've always said to you, if you get lower than 9 volts, you're in a world of pain. Because that means the control units are going to stop communicating. Simple as that. Just make sure the ground is okay.
Again. Okay, thanks. So prior to actually doing anything, we're going to just see what the starter motor current draw is. Just for, you know, just to take a baseline of it, I guess. So we have a danger now. As you can hear, our vehicle won't start, and the reason for that is we've got a voltage drop less than 8 volts. Therefore, there's no power at the engine ECU, all because of the battery. So it's looking like we have not really any fault codes in that sense for the remote keyless entry unit like we had before, but the car still doesn't start. Very unusual. Maybe we need to marry the immobiliser again, but let's just clear the DTCs anyway. One is only the steering angle sensor, we're not too worried about that. And we need to just now clear these again and just see if the vehicle starts, basically. Sounds to me like there's no compression, which is extremely weird because, you know, it shouldn't have an issue with that, should it? So we might have to do an old trick to put some
put some oil in the cylinders to get it started, because now it's a bit weird and a bit unusual. So this is now turning into a bit of a fault find now. I've got a camera down there and we've actually got a lot of fuel. You can see the piston's soaking wet there. But we've got a spark as well and it's just got no compression now. Stop. Right, let's try again. There's no compression, is there? If this doesn't work, it's oil in the cylinders and heat the plugs up job. Let's have a look, get me some throttle. Right, so we've got it running now, as you can hear in the background. What I've done is, here I am. I've put on the exhaust extractors. It's just raw fuel coming out the back of this vehicle now. And all this from a battery, so basically the battery, there was no ignition, got in through backup system, erased the fault codes in the RKE, remote keyless entry unit, then we could start it. But then there's a voltage drop because the old battery was knackered. Put a new battery on this morning, but overnight it's lost compression. Maybe the injectors are leaking, secondary problem. But all this has come from a knackered battery essentially. So it's a number one lesson, especially on Mazdas that are very intolerant of bad voltages. When you get less than 9, less than 8 volts, control unit's going to lose things. RKE lost the ability to put the ignition on. Known problem apparently on Mazdas. And yeah, and it stinks of fuel. So I think it has got leaking injectors, or even maybe still a slight lack of compression. But that's not what it was in for. But it goes to show you, one simple thing, it got brought in on a truck as you saw in the video, and then well, all this sort of cascaded and snowballed after. But it's running now, we'll have our lunch, come back, we'll do a voltage drop test on the new battery, voltage drop on the ground, and we'll check the starter motor because it was pulling 180 amps. Let's see, roughly what it's pulling again. We've got our new battery on, we've finally got the car running after that, what happened overnight. Now let's do another voltage drop test. Handily got it here, let's see what happens. Much better. So what I'll do is I'll ground it to the engine block, because that's where the starter motor is obviously, and then ground to the battery, and we'll just check that voltage drop. So same as before, but what we're going to do this time is we're going to just look at the ground, how much voltage we're losing through potentially bad ground. Quite a lot actually. I mean, you've got half a volt drop there. 128 I make it, I think. We can replay the video and check that out. Right, let's look at the starter motor draw and see what the situation is with that. Now usually I'd disconnect the coils and the injectors and all that to do a proper cranking test, but in this case I was running out of time. But as you can see, we peaked at 184.2 amps. Not so bad really, to be honest with you. And at the end of the day, it was an old car. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't pulling huge amount. It was quite reasonable because the starter wasn't sluggish upon turning. So we need to lock the bonnet over because we have a wire, and otherwise if we do a drain test the car will be awake and it won't sleep. That's why we must always lock that over. Right, so we're going to put this on the vehicle now. We're going to now lock the car and take the keys away because it is a keyless entry job. And now we can just leave it for half an hour and see what that value should be after half an hour. Hopefully it's pretty good. What we're going to do is we're going to take our keys. He's laughing. And we're going to put them way past the Hunter alignment machine, and we're just going to put them this side of the workshop so the car can't wake up. Otherwise, with intelligent keys, the antennas will pick the key up, the car will keep waking, we can't get a true reading if it's got a battery drain or if it hasn't got a battery drain. So we'll leave these here and come back in 30 minutes after a nice cup of coffee. So there you are, it's done now essentially. So it just goes to show you, if you've got a bad battery, what can actually physically happen when you've got a bad battery essentially. All this cascade of things. So it pays to have your battery checked. Now it's the end of winter coming now, but really if you've got a car, any type of car, you should bring it to us in Oller in Loma at Inchcape, because if you've got a Mazda in particular,
you could be out shopping and you could be stranded, couldn't you? Well, you don't really want that, because it's going to ruin your day. You're going to end up like having to get a recovery truck, then you're going to have the hassle of having to get a lift home once it's been dropped at the garage, and if it's a Friday evening when you're shopping, well, it's not convenient, is it? So by checking your batteries, you're coming for winter checks and things like that, you can avoid this happening. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any new videos, and thanks for watching.